Hello, hi, welcome in. Thank you for supporting my bad life decisions. I did. I did. I did. We'll see how long I go. We'll see how long. I don't know, I like played Diablo all day today, and I was like, I'm kinda lonely. I'm kinda bored. So I'll stream. And then I won't be lonely or bored. Getting points? Yeah, you get some points. I get to stream. People can catch some Pokemon. All that stuff. No. Alright, so I came in here already. What is this? See, I have to go to the desert. So this is wait. This is the graveyard where I was. Alright, so I have to get over to the desert, it says. Okay, so now we're back here at the swamp, where we don't need to be. Okay, so this is damping. Okay, what's this? Not tamarind, okay. It's water. We need to go through water next. And I don't know what the next step is. Alright, so I have to think. I've gotten past this before. Like the first time I played this. I just don't remember how I got here. Like I've gone to the animal village before, and I've gotten the swimming power before. So it's just... Here's this key that I can't use yet. That's the hook shot, which I don't have yet. See, how do I... I can't do that, can I? Can't. How do I break that from a distance? Can I bomb those? I don't think you can bomb those, can you? Oh, well, it would help if it actually worked, wouldn't it? How... I have to push that. I must have to push it from the other way. must have to push it from the other direction. Hi, Ramen. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yo, you came. Glad to be here. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here. You're in both. Nice. Yeah, usually I have a camera and I have the whole shebang and all that stuff, but it's a little it's a Pinxel after dark stream tonight, so I can't go in there. I'll drown. Where the heck do I go? I saw the mermaid before, and that's what's bothering me. I don't know where she is, but I saw her, like, in passing before. I don't think I can go here. I think this is too deep. Spontaneous dream? Yeah. Like I was telling DJ, I played some Diablo, like, by myself today, like, for most of the day, and I was just like, I'm kind of bored, and I'm kind of lonely, and I don't really want to, like, hang out by myself anymore, so I was like, I'll just stream. Try to figure out where I'm supposed to go next in this game. Look at the map. So this goes here, that goes down, which I can't do. This, I can't jump across, so I've got to go in there, but I can't. Alright, so can I go here and then I go up and up? Alright, let's try to go up. Which Diablo? I'm playing 4. It is my first Diablo. I've never played a Diablo game before. Raven was actually kind enough to get me the game so that I could play one, because I'd never played before, like I said. And I've really been enjoying it, but there's only really so long you can play solo before you're like, alright, I've done everything, bye! So, yeah, I played for a good chunk of the day today, which is whatever. Alright, so does this go where I need to go? No, because I've been there before. I've done this one before. Alright, where does this go? Yeah, Raven and I have actually been friends for about 3 years now. We met right after I started streaming, and I just hit my 3-year anniversary like last week actually. So yeah, so we've been friends for about a little over 3 years now. About just under 3 years, I meant to say. September, I think, is when we met, if I remember right. Okay, so this goes here, so I can walk here. Okay. I can walk in this one. Now where does this go? Got a guardian ink. And a piece of power. Oh my gosh. Too bad I don't think I can even do anything here. Yeah, see, it goes there, and then this goes out top, right? Hi, Tanzig, welcome in, how are ya? I hope you're doing so well. Okay, so that goes down there. So that goes there. What does he need? He needs food, he said. Some victuals. I don't have food? Alright, what do I have for the trade sequence? I have to think. Oh my god, I'm getting stressed. Alright, so for the trade sequence, I have... Wait, where's... This isn't my... Where's my trade sequence item? It's not the Chow Chow. Oh, the honeycomb. Taryn left this behind after poking the beehive. So who needs the honeycomb? This was such a great remake. So... I told this story before, but I'll tell it again for anybody new who's hanging out. So, I am a lifelong Legend of Zelda fan. I have played almost all of them. There's just a small handful I haven't played. Like, I haven't played Minish Cap on Spirit Tracks and whatever. But, like, I've played, like, almost all of them. I love them. I have 2 Legend of Zelda tattoos. Like, I love Legend of Zelda. Link's Awakening was the first Zelda game I ever played. It came like in a bundle with my Game Boy in like when did this game came out? 1998, something like that. Yeah, I just hadn't played it, Ramen. I didn't have what was it, a DS, 3DS? I didn't have whatever it came out on when it came out, and I just never went back to it. But anyways, so Link's Awakening was my first Zelda game. It came with my Game Boy back in like 1995 or 98 or whenever the heck this came out. And I never beat it. I never got past the 6th temple because I just couldn't do it. I was, I don't know, 10 years old, whatever. I couldn't do it. Then I tried to replay it as an adult. But if you remember, if you're an old fart like me, Game Boy games have a battery in them, and if the battery dies, it can't save your game anymore. So I tried to replay it again, and my battery was dead, so it didn't save any of my progress. So this is like my actual attempt at finishing this game as an adult, and I'm gonna do it. I have beaten, as you can see, I've beaten 3 temples already. So yeah, so this is we're beating it. I'm beating this game. This is my attempt, and we're beating it. So I have a honeycomb. All right, let me look. So honeycomb in the trade sequence. So I went from to the Chow Chow, gave me the dog food, went to him to get the bananas, and then I went to him to get the stick, and then I went to Marin to get the honey. So now I have the honey, which I need to trade for something else because he needs food. So who needs honey? Oh wait, wasn't there somebody who said they needed something sticky? What's your favorite Zelda? Okay, my favorite Zelda is I know, the stereotypical, it's everybody's favorite, but my favorite Zelda is Ocarina, and it is because it's the first game I ever beat, which, funny enough, Link's Awakening is my first Zelda game ever, and Ocarina of Time was the first game I ever beat by myself without, like, my cousins or, like, my uncle or anybody, like, helping me or anything. So Ocarina of Time is my favorite. It's my favorite story. It's my favorite gameplay. It has my favorite temples. It's my absolute favorite. But I also am a big fan of Twilight Princess. I love Twilight Princess. And I like Breath of the Wild. I like Breath of the Wild, and I liked Tears of the Kingdom a lot, but they're totally different, so I kind of count them as their own thing. But Ocarina is definitely number 1. Twilight Princess is definitely number 2. I love Majora's. I love Wind Waker. I liked Skyward Sword. Ooh, that's rough. Batteries dying was the worst, especially when I was playing. Yes, batteries dying's the worst. I'd answer, but no backseating. Yes, no backseat. I appreciate that you read the rules or the tags. Yeah, because some people I'd be like, ooh, what do I do for here? And they'll just answer, and it's like, no, I'm kind of just like asking out loud because I'm a streamer and I have to chat. But I think I'm just trying to remember. Somebody asked for something. They needed something sticky, and I just don't remember who that is. But I need to find him to do this. So I need to go to the desert, which is over here. So I think I need to go down. I think I need to go down this way. But I haven't made it. See, the mermaid's gotta be here. I bet you the mermaid's in this area. Alright, we're gonna go south. Alright, we're gonna go south. We're gonna go south. See, because I can't go past the waterfall. I can't do anything here. Yeah, see, I can't go there. I'll drown. Majora's Mask is my favorite, although still I sometimes think the full version of Ocarina plus Majora's. I know. Came out in 93. It was my first Zelda. See, I was gonna say 93, but I thought it was 98, and then I was second guessing myself. But you're right, it was 93, and that makes me even younger. That means I would have been 8. But hello, welcome in, Balloon. How are ya? Couldn't beat it as a kid because I didn't know how to solve one puzzle in the second dungeon. So, as a kid, I actually got through dungeon number 2, but as a kid, I got stuck in dungeon number 3, which I have beaten now. As an adult, I've beaten it. But when I tried to replay it, however many years ago it was, that was just a silly mistake. I did get to 6 before the battery in my cartridge died. I was like, okay, that was enough of an effort. Link's little waddle, I know. The Link's Awakening Link is so cute. He's so chippy. He's so chippy. All right. So let's think about this here. Okay, so where's the teleporter? It should be right below me if I remember. It should be like right here. Hi, Marbs. Okay. Going back to Raven, no problem. Thanks for coming on over for a bit, though, around. I appreciate it. Unexpected? Yeah. I was bored. I was bored. But I don't want to say stuck. I'm not stuck. I just don't know where to go from here. Okay, I can't go there. Alright, I've done that. See, that's the mermaid statue, and there's a heart container there. I said don't touch me, and you touched me anyway. Okay, so I can't go in this water because it's too deep. I can't beat those. So I think I have to go through here. Okay, so this puts me above now? Yep, okay. So, the mermaid is right there! How do I get to her? I can't swim! I can't swim, see? Ooh, I see Shell. Switch from phone to iPad, no problem. Okay, so I need to get to this mermaid somehow. But I can't. That needs the hook shot. What? How did I discover that? What does that do? How did I just discover that? That's crazy. What did that even, like, I'm honestly, like, I'm not complaining, but where did that come from? Oh my god, the sharks? Oh my god, he just pushed me into the water? I'm going up. I'm not touching this. I'm not touching this. Where's this now? Ooh, the other side. Huge. Harvest or save? I saved them all. I didn't harvest them. I know you have to do more when you do it that way. Like, you have to get more little sisters, but yeah. Because you get like the better end, not the better ending, but you get like the positive ending or whatever. Okay, so I can't go that way because I can't swim. Okay, so I think I'm on the right track now. How did I'm still so confused how I accidentally found that. Welcome to the animal village. How I accidentally found that staircase. Terry! Oh, Terry!
Moonlight Pennant 13 just resubscribed for 7 months.
7 months. Thank you so much, Terry. How are you? Welcome in. How are ya? Thank you for supporting my bad life decisions. Oh, I need a drink. Okay. In the south, but you might not be able to. With the lazy walrus in the way. Oh, does the lazy walrus need honey? I'm alive. So much happening. I'm resisting this weekly sign called Baldur's Gate. Oh my gosh. Everybody's on Baldur's Gate. I have never played a Baldur's Gate before, but I've been watching some of my pals play. And while I'm not sure that it's my type of thing, like honestly, I don't really think it's my type of game. I don't think it's a game that I would end up like really, really digging. But I do want to try it because I think it looks really fun. But I don't like, I really, really dislike turn-based combat. But I love D&D, so I love this game, and that's understandable. It's not for everything, but there's part, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I think it looks really cool, and I've been watching a lot of my friends play, and I think that the story and like the rest of like everything looks really up my alley. Like, I think that like the character creation looks so cool, and like, yeah, the D&D aspect looks really, really cool. And then, yeah, it's just like, oh, but it's turn-based combat. Never played a Baldur's Gate before? Are you... But the real question, Terry, the real question that everybody needs to know the answer to. Are you gonna fuck the bear? Are you gonna... Never seen a character. You've never... Yeah, character creation so in depth. You get to choose peen sizes. Hi, do you need honey? Yes, I have honey. A pineapple? Sure. Now, who do I give a fucking pineapple to? Okay, pineapple. I got it. The tub of goo, asleep? Okay. Been butch for a long time. Take little Marin and wake him up with her singing. That slap should wake her up with a jump. Okay. So, Marin, like back home? Are you gonna fuck the bear? Of course I am. All right, Terry. Quote number 2. Congratulations. How does it feel? How does it feel? Plan on more on romancing the Shadowheart or Karlach. I don't know. I know who Shadowheart is. I know who Shadowheart is. Dirge has Shadowheart in is fucking the bear and piss. Yes, not at the same time though. That's not your legacy. Your legacy is being a super cool dude. You didn't hear Dirge? I did. I heard, but I heard last I heard was that he had to, I might be wrong, but he had to like do some sort of quest or whatever to like get the guy to be romanceable. Is that correct? Is that correct? Like he had to go do something so he could romance the guy? Gonna do a whole thing. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I was there for that. I was like, wait, no, I didn't see bear fucking. I saw that he like has a whole process he needs to go through. It's pretty involved. Yeah. Listen, Dirge bailed on 7 Days to Die last night to play Baldur's Gate. He better fuck as many bears as there are possible. To make it up to me, I guess. Alright, I need to break this thing open somehow. Whoa. Banana! I'm making bad life choices! How are you? I know, I didn't get to check in about... Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean, yes. So I did watch Pirates of the Caribbean. I did not do my double extra features while, for nap time. So the count was, unfortunately, just the regular 7. It was not 9. Everyone I know is going after the kind of mean vampire twink with fluffy hair. Really? Look at how just absolutely invigorating this gameplay is. The F-twink that I'm seeing on TikTok. I don't know anything. What? All I know is what I've seen from Dirge playing, or like a couple other people that I've like popped in here and there that I've been like, I don't know what any of this is. And Dirge fucked like that girl that's like in his party. Elf vampire is the white haired dude. Oh shit, I hit a thing. That's bad. Yes it does! I'm so confused. Who sleeps the flying rooster? Yeah, you're supposed to be able to grab it and move it, but it's- wait, do I have to- You're supposed to be able to move this. Unless they changed that. You're supposed to be able to move that. Alright, so where's Marin now? Alright, I need to go talk to what's her name in the phone. I need to be told what to do. Okay, I have so much money. I need an adult. I know. I need an adult to tell me what to do. Hi, Trem. I saw you sneak in. I was in the middle of a thought, I think. The Yarna Desert, located in the southeast, you'll find something called the Angler Key. Okay, so that doesn't help me because I still need to... bring her over there to sing. Do you want a pineapple? Who do you want to romance in Baldur's Gate? You cannot opt out of this question. Honestly, just knowing me and like the type of man I am just naturally attracted to, probably would be fluffy-haired, what did you say, fluffy-haired elf boy? Or vampire boy? Probably. Is it the fluffy-haired mean guy? Yeah, fuck you, Terry! Don't act like you know my life, even though you do. I love you, but I called it. I know. I know. Just ask me who I romance in Stardew Valley, and that will be your answer for everything. The answer is Alex, by the way. Only Alex, never anybody else. I've never romanced anybody other than Alex. Alex or Shane. Yep. The only thing that would be better than Alex, like, for me, would be if one of, like, instead of being, like, a jock, if he was a gamer boy. What the heck? Where is everyone? Derailing the topic a little, but can you believe the gall Terry has? I found a new sound alert for them, and they refuse to hear it? Oh no. Is this a debate? Am I about to be debated into something? I didn't refuse, I've been busy. Oh wow. Wow. Refuses. That does sound an awful like refusal to me. That sounds an awful lot like Terry literally said, fuck yo sounds. I had to pay for autism yesterday and get a haircut. Wow, you're having a really rough life right now. Must be starving. Alright, does this fucker need some pineapple now? Alright, let's go give him pineapple. Is that gonna work? Is that what you need? Is that what you need, sir? Wait, where's our thing? Oh, it's right there. After such rudeness, I deleted the file. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Banana. The actual disrespect. The disrespect. Didn't even send a photo of their cool haircut. Wow. I also do not have a photo of this super cool haircut. This super cool, handsome haircut. It's just to be offend. I'll go take a haircut. Okay, fine. Ah! You'll go take a haircut? Okay. A haircut picture? I'm just teasing. Yes, haircut picture, thank you. You're welcome. You are welcome. Alright, does this fucker need some pineapple now? Wait, no, that's not the right one. That's the fish. This is the one. I could be a Link. I could be a Link voiceover actor. You hear that, Nintendo? If you're ever looking. If you're ever looking. Piece of power. Alright, let's go this way. My foot itches.
Oh no, my foot itches.
Also, at some point, I have to go swap my laundry because I'm being productive. We can be BFFs. We can be BFFs. I will always send pictures of all my haircuts. If I walked all the way up here and he doesn't take pineapple, I'm gonna be so mad. Here, do you want pineapple? Yes, here you go. Pineapple. All the haircuts? Yes. I will take one picture of every hair that was cut. Hibiscus. Okay. So now what do I do with a flower? Okay. I'm filled with energy now. Nom 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 nom. That's me. Nom 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 nom. You're a lifesaver. Okay. Who would like a flower? Who would like a flower? Flower, 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 flower. Flower power. Flower power. She slams her head and devours it, and I go, nom 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 at the same time. No cutlery needed. Nope. Who needs forks and or spoons? Ooh. That was weird. Why did I... That was weird. How do I get that one? Like, how do I get that heart piece? Okay. We love you, Terry. You're great. Yes. Terry's the greatest. And Terry has a super cool haircut, I bet. Okay, so now I've got a flower. What do I do with this flower? Someone needs a flower. And then I also need Marin. But I don't know where she is. She's not in town. Is she in the animal village? Did I go all the way back and she's actually in the animal village? That's silly. Silly gooses. I posted the I will look. I will look. I will look. And I will tell you how handsome you are. Oh, so handsome.
So handsome.
I'll take a better one in the future. I appreciate the face too. You're like, I don't like pictures. Alright, we have to find Marin. She has to be in one of these houses. Alright, so I gave him the honey. Honey. Woof, 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 woof. What is this? What's this noise? Can I sleep? It's just a chimkin. The electric tape that is holding my earbuds together? Lol, I didn't look at that, honestly. Hi, how are you? Oh, sure. Yes, oh my god. Oh my god. Mr. Wright, that's so far away. Okay, focus. I'll continue to tape them until I can't. Lol. Oh my gosh, look at her tatas. I am Shul Donovich. The mermaid statue by the bay is my masterpiece. To tell you the truth, that work is not complete. The art is difficult for you to grasp, is it not? Oh, go away. Oh. Look at her tatas. Oh, look at them. She's got her tatas out. Like, come on. This is a children's game. This is a children's game. Okay, so I need to get past the walrus. I'm so confused. Okay. Where's Marin? Okay, so that goes there. So I have to go all the way around. No, I just have to go down here, right? Yeah. Okay. Right? Is this correct? Ba-da-da-da. Entrance to Yarna Desert. Right, so I need Marin, but I don't know where the hell she is. Oh, that's a bomb. Oh, I don't have any. Wait, can I shop here? Alright. I need bombs. Oh my god, if this game is one of those games that makes me go back and forth 912 times, I'm gonna be so mad. But I don't know where Marin is though. If she's not in town, I actually don't know where to look for her. Wally the walrus. Wally's being a giant inconvenience to my existence right now though. Doing a depression laundry load? Thank you! We have to take it out of the laundry in about 30 minutes. Oh, I went to the same place. Yeah, there's like an actual spot on my floor now that's like an actual floor instead of just clothes. Like, who even is she? 30 minutes exactly. It should be less than 30 minutes, but 30 is probably the closest. I started it before stream, so I'll remind. Thank you. You know, like, people who have anxiety or depression, I'm sure can back me up on this, but like sometimes when you get like the motivation and you get like that burst of energy, that burst of like motivation, you have to ride that wave for like as long as you possibly can, because you don't know the next time you'll get like that burst of motivation again. And that's what happened, where I was like doing something and I was like looking for something in my room and I was just like so frustrated because there's just so much stuff on the ground and like there's like dog pee. And I was like, I just need like a minute. And so I just like swept it all up into the center of the room so that it was like all in one pile and it wasn't all spread out. And I just like organized it and I put all the clothes into little baskets and I threw all the garbage away. And even though it's not done, it's not perfect, it's only a small part, like, but it's done and it's clear and it's clean and like I have all this space now and I have all these little baskets all ready to go full of laundry. Like, it's a start, and a start is like the hardest part when you can't motivate yourself to do simple things like take care of yourself. Do so much random cleaning in bursts. Yeah, you have to when you get that energy or you get that motivation. That's why I'm streaming at midnight, because like I got that big old burst of energy and I rode that wave and I'm like, all right, well, what do I do while I'm waiting for my laundry? Like, I'll stream and I'll hang out, you know? Like, you guys are essentially like body doubling for me right now, more or less. I'll do all my depression ADHD girlies. I highly recommend this little app I found called Goblin Tools. It breaks down cleaning to step-by-step stuff, and it's so helpful when you feel, I need that. Terry, can you send me a DM of that? Just a DM so that way it's there and I can address it later, because I will forget. And I need that, because just getting the motivation and like knowing where to start is my biggest roadblock when it comes to that kind of stuff. One time I went to a month-long manic episode and completely deep cleaned, reorganized my whole apartment. Sometimes you gotta make endless work for you. Exactly, exactly. And that's why I was like, I'm riding this fucking wave for as long as I can, even if it means like it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever. And then, you know, then I got to be 12 and I was like, all right, this is a good stopping point where I actually feel like I've accomplished enough to stop, you know? Because sometimes like, if you don't feel like you've done enough, you like won't know when to stop, and you'll just like push and push and push and push and push when like you really don't necessarily need to. How do I break these? Oh, I don't know how to break those. So what do I do here? What? So there's nothing to do in this door? Oh, I missed. Okay, I definitely did not think I was gonna make that. So how do I jump that and hit a bomb there? Oh, I hit the wrong button. Well, I didn't hit the wrong button, I just didn't time it right. Oh, I can't. I guess I can't. I don't have enough time to hit the button, the jump button. No, I don't have enough time to hit the jump button. Like, I literally spammed it there. I never stop once I get going. Something like a snowball, drawing, gaming, cleaning. If I get that big burst, I can keep going until it drops. Yeah, bladder threatens to explode. Yeah, that's the problem, is that sometimes I will ride the wave too long and I'll actually like push myself to the point of like, I'm actually exhausted now and I should have probably stopped once I got to like this point or that point or whatever it may be. Okay, so how do I get over here? So can I... How do I get over these to get to there? You can't go up. Interesting. When I first played the Baldur's Gate early release, I played 18 hours in the span of 24 hours. I think we've all done that with a game, though, that has like caught our attention. Okay, so we're back to square one. So we have to find Marin. Zebstrika.
Zebstrika.
Am I gonna miss it? Daniel had to remind me to eat, and it's true. We are all pro gamers here. I know. Like, so when Icarus came out, like, Nate and I would stream until, like, midnight or whatever, and then we would literally, like, still play until, like, 4 o'clock in the morning, like, every night, when we would have to, like, work the next morning. It was bad. Like, when a game hooks you, it hooks you. And there's not much you can do. Yeah. Big mood, I know. You're like, I really should go to bed. Oh, I really should go to bed. I really should go to bed. And then it's like, bed just never happens. Never happens. A single big mood. The biggest of moods. I know you guys can't see it, but can you hear it? I have a giant, it's a 60 ounce. It's one of the Bubbas. It's a 60 ounce water bottle that I filled up last night on stream last night. And there's still ice in it today. There's still ice in it. Good night, DJ. Good night. And ice, yeah, there's still ice in it. I'm like, that's crazy. But it's nice and refreshing. Alright, I have to find where Marin is. What's this? Lift. Wait, are those supposed to be- wait, hold on. Are those like floating things? Like, can I use them to walk on? Well, I guess if I don't throw them too far, maybe? Alright, you need to chill. All of you need to chill. Alright, hello, owl. Secrets are like water when it comes to bridges. What does that mean? I don't know what to do. I'll be looking for a bit. I was doing some like cleaning and I realized I had stopped in for a bit. No problem, Terry. You guys never need to feel any obligation to be here, even if you just want to pop in and say hi. Hi, Eric. How you doing? Alright. I think this is... I don't... You've got to be able to get across somehow. Secrets are like bridges in the water, he says. This is insanity over here. There's so much omen. Why? Why do you never throw the right way? Toodles, Terry. Have fun doing things. You're blah today? Yeah, it's a blah kind of day sometimes. Alright, these zappies are really killing me right now. I have to sneeze, too. Alright, lift, throw. Why does it break every time? Maybe that's not the answer. Alright, I'm gonna try a couple more times and then move on. Because that's probably not the answer then. I don't know. Because I can't go down, I'll drown. Can't go across. See, there's the mermaid right there. Excuse me. I'll drown again. Yep. Alright. Alright. Can I... No, he just jumps in. He doesn't even jump across. That's crazy. Okay, the zapping is actually driving me insane. Like, the zapping of these guys makes me want to die. God. What is this box for? I just don't understand. So they stay goofy when you do that? Alright, I don't understand what this box is for. And I also have... what? For my trade sequence? The letter. Oh, yeah. Should I go back to the letter now? Okay. So I can't go... I can't go there. Or there. Or there. I didn't save the little sister. Oh my gosh. The actual betrayal. Okay, so we have a couple things we have to do. So we have to go back to Mr. Wright, which is really far away. He's over... No. No. Where is he? Where is Mr. Wright? Sexual match. Does it not label him? Oh, shoot, it doesn't label him. He's... where? He's up here, I thought. That's the fishing shack. That's that. He's right here. Isn't that him? Isn't that him right there? Shit, I think so. Alright, where's the closest teleporter to where I am? Over here's the closest teleporter. Yeah, dang. Dang. Okay, so then, oh my gosh. All right, so if I go here, can I go, hold on, can I go from here and then go through? I think I can. I think I can. I think I can go from Dompe's thing. I think I can. If I go this way... yeah, and then I go that way and around. Okay, no, stop it. Stop it! Oh no. Can I not? Can you really not do anything Gapungo Swamp after you don't have Bow Wow? Well, it's here anyway, it's fine. It's here anyway, it's fine. Alright, if this isn't Mr. Right, I'm gonna be so upset. If this isn't Mr. Right, I'm gonna be so wrong. I think it is, though. I think it is. I hope it is. Yeah, it is. What's this? A letter for me? So happy. Okay, give me trade. Why is it peach? A broom? What do I give a broom to? Oh my god. I keep thinking I have it all figured out, and then I don't have it figured out anymore. Bro. Alright, so I have to find Marin. And she's not in her house. She's not over by the rooster statue that she normally is in the game. So I've got to find where she is. She obviously moves to somewhere else. But I don't know where that is. Alright, a broom. Is it this lady down here? Do you want a broom? Yay! A fishing hook. Okay, does the literal fishing guy need it? Not now. Okay, so the fishing guy doesn't need it. So who would need a fishing hook? And where is Marin? Okay, so where would Marin go? Wait, didn't I see her? I saw her dad when he gave me the stick. Where was that? What do you know, kiddo? Dream Shrine. Okay. What do you know? Marin said with you, what happened to her? No, where is she? That's what I want to know. Gameplay shack this way. Adventure and assistant wanted. Yeah, I know. Okay. Or maybe did the twins know? Twin fish. Okay, I don't know. Okay. What about you? Oh. Outside the island? What's outside? Okay. This is the library. I don't know. Is there anything different in this version? Ha. Hidden Power of Color. Do you want to read this book? Yes. There's a new world of color under 5 gravestones. 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. 3 up, 4 right, 5 up. Alright, I'm gonna write this down. Actually, no, I'm gonna take a screenshot. There we go. Easy. Okay, try with all your might, and you may open a new path. Are you worthy to receive the power of color? Where are the gravestones, though? Power of color. The right gravestones. What is that? She's not on the beach where she found me, right? downloadable cave here, though. But I haven't gotten. Oh, she is. She's over there. Okay, cool. But I want to still blow this up, because I don't know what's in here. Hitmonchan! What the hell is this? What the fuck is this? I don't even know if I've ever been there before. Alright, but here's Marin, so... Hello. Yes, I will stay and talk a while. But then you have to come sing and move a walrus. Oh, look at how cute. I wonder where these coconut trees come from. I believe there must be something over there. Yeah, because Link came from not here, so... You know. I discovered you, Link. My heart skipped a beat. I thought this person has come to give us a message. Oh. I'd fly to faraway places and sing for many people. If I wish to the windfish, I wonder if my dream will come true. This is so cute. Are you listening? I am. I want to know everything about you. Oh, she got a little crashy crush. The walrus wants to go to him? Alright, let's go. Aw, she got a little crush. You got Marin. Is this your big chance? What? Pocket? Oh, that was so funny. Alright, can I jump this now? Yes, I can. Oh, except for I didn't do it good enough.
I didn't do it good enough.
Oh, Marin, you gotta move, sweetheart. Okay. Oh, she can jump too? Nice. Oh, the music changed now that she's my little companion. It's so funny. It's like toot 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 toot. I don't remember ever getting this far, but I had to have because I've gotten the swimming ability before in this game. The flippers, I think. Sorry, I was just answering a message. He's calling to me. It's the same as always. Going to the animal village. Please drop by. Okay. Okay. Now, is this... I saw some quicksand. Oh, see, that's quicksand in there for sure. Alright, so what's over here? This is just the jump back down. Okay, this is the jump back down. Okay, are you gonna give me a hint about the... Sea bears foam. Sleep bears dreams. Both end in the same way. Crash. Sea bears foam. Sleep bears dreams. Both end the same way. Crash. What? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? How did I not swing my sword there? Come on. Sure. Just a piece of heart? I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's just a piece of heart? So where the heck? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So do I have to go in the quicksand? Annoyance, you're only getting... Are you a boss? Oh. Okay. So I have to go back here. I have to remember to go 2 minutes. Thank you. I will go. Thank you, banana. I will go. Alright, let's get this guy to come back up here again. How do I get him, I wonder? Are there bombs? Ooh, I bet. No? Hold on. Okay. Stop going too far over here. Okay, so can I go in here for like a second? Yeah, I can. Okay. Let's see. Jump. Woo! No, don't go back. Why do you keep going so far to the side? It's so annoying. Oh, I have to hit his head, I think. Alright, so just keep moving, I think. Good deal. So is it his head I have to hit here? Yes. Okay. Just keep moving. Come on. Oh, I've got a half a heart left. Oh, I've got a half a heart left. Ugh. Gotta be close, right? Oh shit! It just the drift of getting pulled into it. Okay, so now I at least know what to do. Okay. Oh, I'm right here. Nice. All right. Where are you coming from? Here we go. Hit his head. Oh, he hit me. All right, so that's one hit. Nope, nope. Can I hit his tail? Nope, I can hit his tail. Okay. Has to be his head. Oh, no? No? What? How is that not his head? Stop pulling me into it! Alright, just play it smart. Just play it smart. Just play it smart. Play it smart. Okay. Ooh. How many hits does this dude need? Ooh, don't fall in. That was too far. That was too far. Too far. Oh, I got him with 1 heart left. Oh, I got the key. Let me get the key. Get the key. Take. I've literally hit the take button 17 times. Okay, I got the angler key. Okay. So, I'm done. Ooh, shit. I'm done here. For now. Alright, I'm going to take a very quick break to swap my laundry from the wash to the dryer. And I'll be right back, guys. BRB! probably should not have left it beeping like that. But, you know, mistakes were made. And here's a heart. There we go. There's 2 hearts. We are heartless. Shell. Why do you hate us? Beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep. You know what you've done. You know what you've done. No, I didn't think about it, honestly, and then I was downstairs in the laundry room, and I was hearing the beeping, and I was like, damn, this is really annoying. And then I was like, damn, it's probably really annoying for them. The shape of the key shows a fish swimming up a cascade of water. Yes, I know where it is. I already know where it is. Owl, hoot hoot. Hoot hoot. Ba-da-da-da. Aw, look. So cute. So cute. Goodbye. Alright, so now I have to go up here. What time is it? See, it's only 1:30, and I've only been live for an hour and a half, but I feel like this is going to be the process for the next dungeon. So I don't know how long I want to stream tonight, you know? Like, I don't want to do the next dungeon, but I guess I'll do the process up to it. Let's see. Okay. I've always had, like, a fascination with owls. I wonder if that's the Cherokee in me. You know, it could be. Like, that's a really interesting thing, how we kind of, like, grow fascinations with things. Could be. Could be a subconscious thing. Alright, how did I get up there? Oh, I think I do have to go this way. What? Jackie, relax, bud. No. No. Alright, so what do I have for the trade sequence again? A hook, a fish hook. Alright. A fish hook. Fish hook. A fish hook in the trade sequence here. No, stop hitting that. Hit this. Silly goose. No. This way. Okay. And then we go out and around. Okay, so now I can walk across. So now I can walk across here. But this only lets me go here. Oh wait, no, and then I do jump like this. What's this? My grandmother loves owls, and she got her love from them from her mother, who is full-blooded Cherokee. Is it racist to associate owls with Indigenous Americans? Am I a quarter racist? Not a quarter, an eighth? Ooh. Are you, Eric? Are you? Wait, so then this goes... No, that goes back down. So I don't want that. This isn't isn't level 3 or level 4, is it? It is? Wait, I thought that... I hate everybody equally. That's true. Same. Hard same there. I hate everybody with an equal amount of hatred. Whoa. I feel like this actually might be where I got stuck. Like, I feel like this one's like a weird one because you have to go back once you get present company excluded. Oh, obviously. Obviously. A comp ass. Chow. Alright, unlock. What's this? Map? Ooh, a small key. Small key. Alright, so we're gonna open this one right here first. Yeah, let's go this one. Now saving my life. Chow. Chow. So this needs another small key, which I do not have. Oh wait, does this go up from the other way? Man, I love how literally 20 minutes ago I was like, I don't want to start like the next level, and then here I am starting the next level like a chump. Oh, a beak. Okay. Listen, the title of my stream is quite literally like my motto in life. I make bad life choices. Shut up, okay? You left us with beep. I did. I did. I left you with the beep. The beep of all eternity. The song of my people, as I like to call it. Let me play you the song of my people. It goes like this. Beep beep. Beep beep. Whoa, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. It was not enough time to be able to push the button. That was unintentional, I swear. Hopefully I can get a heart here, because that one's about to drown. Lol. Ooh, what are you? 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 I don't know what to do. Oh, you drowned me. Check. This rock has many cracks. Must be somewhere to shatter. Raven, thank you for the raid. That's what I hate about watching speedrunners in Zelda games. They're at the beat for lengths of time because they're just that good. I am also just that good. How was the rest of BioShock? How far did you get? Did you beat it? Did you beat it in one sitting? Did you get 100% achievements? Are you the best gamer alive? Are you the best? Are you the best god gamer alive? Hey, why'd you throw me in here? Exhausted, right? Aw. Well, you said you were gonna hang out with me, so you better not be tired. Excuse me. You're the one who told me to do bad life decisions. You did this. RDT. Raven did this. So how do I kill these little skulls? Can you? I don't know if you can. Okay, now, can I? Excuse me. Chow. Alright, so I went that way. Raven, how was your stream? Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you so much for being here. I know that a lot of you probably know who I am, but on the off chance you don't know who I am, or if maybe you're just hanging out, lurking because I'm the only weird person who's on at 1:30 in the morning. Either way, hello, hi, welcome in. Thank you for being here. My name is Krista, or Pinxel. Most people just call me Pink. Pinks, if you want to be fancy. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch, and I play pretty much everything, ranging from things like Lego games, Nintendo games, simulators, shooters, survival games, and everything in between. After all this time has like not learned how to swim. You know what the worst part is in this game, I have to get fucking flippers to swim in the water temple. Like, shouldn't I get these things before I get to the water temple? Just throwing that out there. I should probably have them before I get to the temple made of water, but nobody gives a shit. But anyway, welcome in, Raiders. I have a very quick video that I like to show whenever we get a raid to see if this is someplace you might want to hang out, get to know us, spend some time. You probably don't, but on the off chance that you do, here you go. Hi there, friends. Are you a human being with disgusting bodily functions? They can't know we're like this until they're here. I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience the butts. This is what heroes look like. You can't do anything with human meat, which is kind of boring. Why did you hold it like that? Why are you looking so close?
I wasn't! I just looked down and I can see it!
Look at that donk. Put your clothes on. What if you just like collected a bunch of farts? What have I done? Are you pooping? I can't stream in these conditions. I have poopies for you. That won't and can't go wrong. Don't give me that baby. Oh my gosh, my monitor! He's still rolling!
Yeet!
No! I was already out! That was for the smell. I'm trying to make the poop!
Chaos, come watch us.
I'm trying to make sure we don't die.
I'm a big girl, I do Mordors. I keep finding these boners. Maybe let's not say those things on my stream. Oh my hot dogs! What is happening?
There's a deep rib.
What is this?
Deep rib.
Home, we home. Name every year in the 80s. I couldn't make this up if I tried. I don't want to fight in the poo. Where would Klutky's butthole be? You know, like these are the important questions. How do I know so much of Umbop? You did not just Umbop me.
I would play Jenga.
Yeah, I could play Shenga. Shenga?
But
Go, bees! I just want to be beautiful like her. Is it working? I am cat, I can help you. He's totally dead. He's just standing there. Just because I was supposed to move him. What did? Oh, I look like the kid from Stranger Things. You can go anywhere on Twitch, and this is what you choose to do with your time.
You're like, yeah, then you're like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Raven, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. And you better be here for my entire stream. That was BioShock 1, yeah. I need to finish BioShock 2. Maybe it's been long enough that like I won't get my brain melted because like I explained to you, I played 1, like I did it all in like one sitting. It took like 12 hours or whatever. And then I immediately started 2 like right after. And all the controls were different and they were wonky. And I was just like, this is melting my brain. So I eventually need to finish it. I'll be here gonna Diabler. I attempted to start my seasonal character today and it was like, you have to finish the campaign. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. Who wanted the honeycomb? In the animal village, there is a bear who is cooking soup, and he gave me a hibiscus flower, and then I traded the hibiscus flower to this little bunny, and now she gave me a fishing hook. I was headed, yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I got distracted. I don't have the fortitude for one-sitting playthroughs of a game longer than 3 hours. It sounds like you should probably, like, get good. Just throwing that out there. Probably should get good. Oh, okay, so that's not what I thought. Okay, hold on, let's, like... So, up, over, down. So there's a lock here. Okay, hold on, so there's a lock here. Gonna buy some good on eBay right now. Yeah, might want to get a couple extras. Yaga, how are you? Are you feeling better? Oh no, she's still here. Look at that skills. Ka-chow! Okay. One of us. Let's go. The music sounds very Breath of the Wild. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know it's not, but it just, like, sounds very Breath of the Wild. Like, it's very trumpety and stuff. Oh! This is this way. Ah! Nope, 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 nope. Ka-chow! Okay. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it. Alright. Look at him trying. Alright, so... Do I do that? Do I do this? Oh no! How is he here now? Come on. There you go. Hit me again. There you go. Okay. Well, I have to reset. Oh shit. I have to reset. Hold on. Oh, okay. So, how do I can't reset these, can I? Oh, jeez. Okay, okay. Okay, because sometimes you can't move all the blocks, and it actually, like, blocks you in places. Alright, so be careful here, because I am gonna drown. I have to be careful because I'm gonna drown. Instantly drowns. Now where do I go? That doesn't go anywhere? Never finished it. I love the amiibo shared dungeons thing like Mario Maker. Yeah, I haven't touched the the dungeon builder. Can you run on water with the Pegasus boots? Oh, I don't think so. I think that you need the mermaid flippers, which you get in this dungeon. You son of a... Alright, let's try it. Let's see. Alright, so I need another key. Oh, I have the beak. I've got the bike. Ooh. Piece of power, let's go. Get drowned. Get drowned. Alright, so what do you say? The glint of the tile will be your guide. The glint of the tile will be your guide? What does that mean? What does that mean? Glint of the tile will be your guide. What does that mean? Oh my god, I didn't even touch it. Come on. Alright, so I need to touch that button. Obviously. Okay. Think of Minish Cap you were able to? Oh yeah, no, this one you get the mermaid flippers or whatever they're called. I am, to be fair, I am remembering bits and pieces because this game is over 20 years old, but I haven't gotten there yet to know what it means. Oh, you're probably not wrong. What did I just get from there? I read chat. What did I just get from that chest? Did anyone see what I got from that chest while I was reading chat? Because I didn't, like a dummy. It's obviously not a key. What the hell do I do now? Gotta go from above. A chew? Okay. Thanks. I'm glad someone's paying attention to my gameplay. So you. Wait, hold on. How do I? You. You. Now what? I did it. What? Okay, so not that one. So it's memory. Memory. Right, you. I can't get to that one. Shit. So yeah, I can't get to that one yet. Okay, hold on. Let's go here. Watch this be the fucking flippers, and I'm like, hoo hoo hoo. Okay. At least it's a key, not the flippers. Can I push you? Yes, but what does that do? Nothing. It does nothing. Okay. The number of gift subs I have for stuff that I'm not following. Oh, you mean for channels? Yeah, it happens all the time. Okay, so... Back down? Alright, do I have to go back? Okay, hold on. Back down. Is this... That's not a secret, is it? Just looks like it. Alright, so if we go back down... Hurry up. No, go away. Okay. And then through. I can't get there yet. You have to get the mermaid flippers here. Like, you have to. You can't even finish this without the mermaid slippers. Okay, so I need to get that, which I don't think I can yet. Shit. Maybe I can. Maybe I can run it. That was very close. Oh, I have this key. I have this key. But I want to get that. I don't think I can get that yet. Alright, let's get this key. This is a new form of advertising. I just wish, like, as shitty as it sounds, and I'm sorry, but, like, I just wish that, like, you could, like, turn off the, whatchamacallit, it's like gifts, not gift subs, but, like, the bit ones and stuff that you have for this. Oh, shit, okay, I need to plan this better. I need to get behind him. God. Why are you literally face the wrong way every single time I charge. Alright, I need to get behind him to hit him in the butt. But he turns direction. Yeah. Alright, I need to think that one through. Sorry, what I was trying to say about I wish that I could remove, like, emotes, like the bit emotes that you earn over time that you aren't, like, that you aren't in the channel anymore. Like, I wish I could just, like, turn them off from my menu. Like, I have bit emotes from people that I'm, like, not friends with anymore, and I'm like, I don't want to have to scroll past this emote every time I'm scrolling through all my emotes. Like, I wish I could just, like, turn it off and, like, hide it from my list or whatever. You know, like, just because I gave bits to somebody, like, one time in my entire time on Twitch doesn't mean, like, I want this emote in my stuff for forever, you know? This hurts. And I don't want to wait for a month. Yeah. Some of them suck, but not mine, right? Not mine, right? Nah, I know, like, some people are not on Twitch for the emotes, and I know that, you know? Favorite bar, pinned emotes on top. Well, they're, like, I know on mobile, On mobile, you can have like your most used emotes, which is different, I know, but... Hi, bestie! Thank you for being here.
Giant Geezer just resubscribed for 19 months.
Bad life
Less than
choices.
3.
Less than 3 to you two. Hi, Gigi, welcome in. Hi, bestie. I'm on Twitch for the emotes. I know. I don't blame you. Right, bro. You need to piss off. I need to... Yes, there we go. Oh my god, he's gonna use all my hearts before I get there. Okay. Those are good ones. Those are good ones. The double sunglasses is too funny. Alright, so there's this thing still down here that I can't get. Look, I can't get this key because I can't swim yet. Okay. Okay. So I have to figure my path out again. So if I go here, okay, I can't get that one yet. So if I go, okay, if I go down and down, then I can't get that. That's still deep. I am Lurk, but hi, no problem. Thank you for being here. Okay, so this is... Okay, so I have 3 chests that I can't... 4, well that one I haven't discovered yet. Alright, so where do I go? Like, where's the next place? So if I'm here, and I go down here, and then here, I can't get there, because I'll drown. So if I go here and up... Oh, that's where I drown. That's the boss right there. Hold on. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's the boss. Okay. Alright, so I have to figure out what to do with him. I have to get behind him, but I don't know how to do that. Alright, I don't have full hearts, but let's go. Alright, I have to charge behind him, obviously. But then he hits me like that. Oh my god. Link is always facing the wrong way, though. Yeah, see? He's too slow. He's facing the wrong way. Do that. Do that. Alright, so what if I just, like, wait for him to... It doesn't work. It, like, literally doesn't work. Do you drink on stream? What's your opinion on the matter? I have! Do I do it often? No, but I have. Like, I've even done, like, jello shots as, like, rewards for stuff. But I don't see anything wrong with it. As long as it's not, like... As long as you're not, like, excessive and you're not, like, getting, like, wasted constantly and consistently, then I don't have any sort of issue with it. Like, we're all adults. Like, why would there be any sort of issue? How did I manage to get behind that guy that time? I literally think I just happened to have good timing there. Shit. Shit, shit, no! Okay, I got him twice. And then he backs up to the corner. Okay. Woohoo! This guy is hard. Like, these kinds of bosses in general that go in these, like, loops like this are tough. Got it. That's 3. Wait, why isn't it 3? This has got to be the last one, right? Go faster! Oh, I'm not going fast enough. I have a heart and a half. At the point where you're passing out live, I mean, you're saying lol, but, like, I unfollowed somebody because that kind of became, ooh, fuck, but consistent for her. I see, why did he turn around at the last second there? That sucked so bad. I have a heart left, I can't do this. on. How? That's 3! Like, I've hit him more than 3 times. Like, this is Nintendo's rules, not mine. No, I killed him! Damn it. That was his last hit. Oh, man. Oh, this is the kind of stuff that, like, really hits you hard, and you're just like, do I even want to keep playing? Alright, so I have to get... Alright, to the right, up, to the left. Okay. Bombs don't help. I think you have to get it... I'll try bombs. But you have to hit him in his booty when he's, like, charging. I'll try bombs. They usually don't. Like, it's usually... The trend with Zelda games is, like, it's usually, like, you have to use... Like... Oh, my headset is dying. Hold on. Like, you have to use the, like, most recent set of tools that's been given to you. So it's like, if the previous dungeon gave you this tool, like, that's usually what you're gonna start the dungeon with, and then you get a new tool in the dungeon that you usually finish it with. Like, that's the normal, excuse me, formula of Zelda games. And I'm just gonna assume, oh my god, I literally just hit fat finger the wrong button. I can't believe I did that. So yeah, so in theory, it would be like, oh, I just got, you know, my rock feather and my boots in the last one. See, I wonder, I don't think I can. Yeah, can't make that. Can I make it here? I would if you actually jumped on the angle I tried to. Yeah, see, the thing is it's supposed to be a 2D game, even though it's 3D. So it still operates as a 2D game. It's so dumb that it doesn't do anything to them.
Hype. Sending some streamer love. Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance. Don't give up, you got
Ramen,
this.
Thank you so much. You did not have to do that. Thank you.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Please give me some hearts. Oh, it gave me 1 heart. 1 heart. Oh my god, I had 4 hearts for this boss fight? Okay, please give me more hearts. No, it's not giving me more hearts. I had him sitting on the side. It's not gonna give me more hearts. Shit. Alright. We have 4 hearts to do this with. This is one of my least favorite things about Zelda games and, like, Zelda boss fights and stuff like that. Is, like, it always, like, makes you, like, work your way back up to, like, where you were to, like, fight them again. Yeah, see, it's too quick. Like, even if I put it down, it's too quick. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. What's timing? Oh, no, that was wrong. Okay. That was wrong. Oh, shit. Yeah, that was wrong because they switched directions. I don't have any more bombs left. I don't have any more bombs left. Alright, so bombs work, but I have to get timing. Nuke coming in with the follow-up? I know. You guys are so funny. Oh, I got him! Okay, okay. Okay. Oh, come on. That totally hit his butt. Get out of here with that. Shit. Come on. How many hits does he need? Oh, come on! The charge took too long. Oh my god. Why are you changing direction at the last second? Oh, not you! No! I'm so screwed! Why does this charge take so long when you're trying to fight a boss battle? I hit his butt. That's bullshit. I'm dead. There's no fucking way right now, bro. Come on. Why? What? Okay, for real? Like, for real. Not bullshitting, not making excuses. Why is he not charging in a straight direction? He's like changing directions or drifting. Link, I mean, not the boss. See? Why did he change directions? No, I'm using my Pro Controller. It should not be stick drift. And he killed me again on the last hit. I don't understand why it still counts as hitting me if he's dead. Oh, I'm so annoyed. And I have no bombs. Fuck! I'm so annoyed. Now I gotta do the charge method again because I can't do the bomb method because I have no fucking bombs now. Oh, there's bombs right there. Yeah, thank you for taking however many hearts that was, you fucking asshole thing. Alright. I hate this. I hate this part about Zelda games. Just in general. Like, the trek back up to where you were to get back to the boss fight. Hopefully you have hearts. Hopefully you have all of the stuff you need. Ugh, it's so annoying. Why is he not making the jump? And then I got this stupid... Okay. I have one more heart than I did last time, but I've got 10 bombs. So let's see. Can you not? Okay. Legend of Zelda was the original Souls. He's gonna swap directions now to piss me the fuck off. Oh, okay. This way. Oh, too far. Too far. Oh my god, why am I stuck? He gets stuck on the bombs, really? Charge now. Just the hardest part. how many fucking hits is it? This is honestly like so many. Oh my god, the changing directions pissing me off so bad. That was his butt! Come on! Multiples of 3, yeah, I know, but like, usually it's like 3, like the big 3. Ugh. Pog. Pog, pog, pog. I need a drink. I need to drink a Wawa. Water. Ugh. If you can, save. Yes, I can. Oh, excuse me. 26 deaths. Doo-doo. 26 doo-doos. Wait. Grab? Grab? Wait, oh, I have to hold. Okay. You son of a bitch! These are the worst things I think in the entire game. Are those stupid blobbers. The famous nickname, man's best friend, is used in many other languages as well as English. The flippers! Finally! Oh my god, I can flip around now. Alright, how do I beat these guys? I have to hit them in the booty, right? Okay, so this one. And then this one. And then this one. And this one. Okay, I have flippers. Flipper, no flipping. Look at me swim. I'm a little swimmy boy. Okay, so now let's finish this game. Well, this level, I guess. Wait, why am I back here? Hold on. Okay. This music is like, it's so chill. Why is it so chill? Why am I eating a cheese sandwich at 11 p.m.? Because you're making smart life choices, just like the title says. We're all making good life choices together as a family, chat. Hi, Wolfie. How you doing? Good life choices tonight. Everybody making good life choices tonight. Just make it a song, and that way it's okay, right? If it's a song, it's okay. There's nothing to be ashamed of if it's in song form. Look, I can go under the water. Under the sea. No, go away. Alright, grab. Why do I feel like you're saying that, Tease? No, because I went live at midnight and it was a good life choice to make. That's why. It was an excellent life choice. Oh, wait, I can get this key now. Oh shit, I still have to get this guy though. Son of a bitch. High School Musical, Pink's life choices. Bad life choices tonight. We're making bad life choices tonight. Sometimes bad life choices are the best life choices, right? Isn't that what that means? Yeah, what's wrong with eating a sandwich? I'm probably, after I end stream, which I don't know when that will be, but after I end stream, I'm probably gonna make some macaroni and cheese. Because I did laundry and I cleaned a gets a portion of my depression mess, and I deserve it. Okay, so now I can get this. So now it goes this one, and then it goes this one, and then it goes this one, right? No, shit. Okay. This one? It's the same pattern as it was downstairs. It just wants you to remember it. Which I don't. Yes, I do. I am the best. Give me stairs. Look, I'm committed to chilling with you for the night. If stream goes so far, I'm gonna need more food. Yeah, we all need more food. Everyone get food. Everyone get food. Ba-dum-bum-ba-bum. When is that up, or is it the shitty internet? The world will never know. You son of a! Oh my god, Link. Why are you the worst in the world? Oh my god. I'm gonna kill him. Intentionally gonna kill him. Where the hell does this go? I predict Pink dies here. No, I have three whole hearts left. Blame Spectrum for your shitty connection to her stream. Exactly, exactly. I am gonna... Alright, Raven, welcome to the world of being quoted in my channel. I hope you enjoy your stay here. No, don't beep at me, please. Don't beep at me. Thank you. Thank you. What? So... Oh, here. I have to go down. Okay. Awful enough that it would be Spectrum? Yes, blame Spectrum for everything. You know, like, blame Canada, but not blame Canada. Blame Spectrum. Because they did it. It's their fault for everything. Alright. What the hell? What the heck? Tatiana! Hi!
Tatiana Harris just resubscribed for 15 months.
15
At Pinxel High Tatiana 11 hello.
Oh my gosh, Tatiana, thank you so much. When did it become 15 months? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the resub. And I'm really sorry that I didn't have an answer for you, but yeah, that's one of the 100 million reasons why I stopped using them, unfortunately. But I hope you get it figured out. All right, boss time. Tatiana, how are you otherwise? All right, boss time, guys. Let's go. Let's see if I can do this. Wait, is this... Do I go down for the boss? Must be, right? Oh, is this so underwater boss? Yeah. Bloop, bloop, glub, glub. Ugh. Food. Bloop, glub. Anglerfish. Okay. I don't remember this boss, like, at all. What do I hit? This little duper dabber? Alright, do I... Oh, he eats those. Oh, I can't go down. fishies? Dang, this guy just like goes on forever. He's down. Do I have to hit him with a rock? Is that what I have to do? I've hit him so many times, you guys. Oh, no, he's dead. 4 minutes of Game Boy. Yeah, it was game. And also, how come he doesn't have an oxygen bar? I thought I might have unplugged the wires and reconnected them. Maybe it'll help. Did it help at all? Did it help, Tatiana? I hope it did. I really hope it did. But yeah, this was a Game Boy game. It's crazy. Especially if you think about it. It means you had to use the D-pad. You couldn't use an omnidirectional joypad like I just did. You know? Something something Zora something. Something something. Ooh! Little Harperoonski? No O2. Yeah. He doesn't need it. Oxygen is for sissies. Imagine like walking around with flippy floppies the entire game. Oh my gosh. I know. Like he just like plop, 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 plop. like my Subnautica character when I was out of the water and I was like plop, 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 plop. Bay. Wait, the bay like back at the beginning of the game? Your road goes into the bay. By the bay. The bay. Ba-da-da. Look at now I can swim. Whee! I put my little flippy floppies on. Look at me go. Let me go swimmy, swimmy, swim. Swim, swim so fast. Alright, so the next thing I need to get, I think, is the hook shot. I think that's the next collectible. Right screen just goes, Link, wake up, and you start playing Breath of the Wild. No, you weren't here. Raven, you weren't here. I straight died because they legit said to Link in the very beginning of Tears of the Kingdom. You can see it on my YouTube channel, #YT, or !YT. You know, not, you know, if you want to. Anyway, I'm kidding. But for real, they said, oh, Link, you finally wake, like in the very beginning of Tears of the Kingdom, and I fucking lost it. I was like, no, they did not put a Skyrim reference in Zelda. Link, you finally wake. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, is it watermelon? Is it watermelon? I have played Oracle of Seasons and Ages on the original, like the Game Boy Color when they came out. Was it Advance or Color? I don't remember. But I have played them. I own both of them. But they are on Nintendo Online. And I do want to potentially give them a try again. They were really fun. I really enjoyed them. "10 seconds on your YouTube and you kill a monkey." Yeah, that's my old channel trailer. My old channel trailer. Like back when I was still like Pink Room Gaming. Have you ever seen a llama wearing pajamas? A llama in pajamas? The screen fades to black and then you wake up riding the back of a wagon on the way to your execution. You'll learn much there. Oh, I missed the beginning. What did he say? Shit. I keep not paying attention. Why is this ghost behind me? I think I have to bring this guy back to his grave. Which I think is the one I tried to do earlier that I couldn't do. The house, take me. What house? By the bay.
A house by the bay.
The Super Game Boy. Was that like one of the attachments you would put on it? Because I had the game Genie. I had the game Genie. Do you guys remember that? That was the original cheat codes. Cheat codes before there were cheat codes. Game Boy player for the SNES? No, I didn't have one of those. Is it this house? Or is it wait, is it this house? Is it this house? Is it that house? I had a Game Shark and N64. Wonder where that wandered off to. Ooh, a Game Shark. Yeah, that was close. That's the same thing, right? Or same concept. No codes. Hi. I'm not swimming. By the way, is a very important necklace from around my neck. If you find it, I'll let you take a scale from my tail. Okay. So I have to find her necklace. A game genie too? Yeah. The house, take me. The house, I know, I'm going. I'm going. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't know why my throat is all itchy suddenly. It's probably all the yapping I've been doing. The yipper yapping. Alright, where's the bay? The house by the bay. Is that this one? I'm gonna go there. I don't know if that's it, but that's where we're gonna go. Wait, no, that's his house, right? No, that's that house, okay. It is this one. It is, I think it's this one. I'm pretty confident in saying I think it's this one. Here, enter my house. Yay, I was right. Martha's Bay. Yeah. Okay. Enter the house. Aww, she's got little buns on her head. Mudbray, caught by a raven. Nice job. How far are you? I just finished dungeon number 4. I just finished it. Like, on stream just now finished it. Dungeon number 4. Down by the bay from their childhood. No, I know exactly. I don't remember the words. But it was like one of those ones that you would clap to, right? Like, it would be like, down by the bay, where the fishes do something. I just can't remember the words, but I remember the thing, and you would clap to it. Tatiana, have you played this one? I played this as a kid. Down by the banks of the hanky-panky where the football start. Is it Bank to Banky? Is it that one? Down by the... No, down by the banks of the hanky-panky. Yeah, I know that one, but there's like... It's like down by the da-da-da-da-da, where the something da-da-da-da-da-da-da. If you patch, I'm at like halfway. I would say I'm half. Because I have 4 out of the 8... I have 4 out of the 8 musical instruments, so I'd say it's half. Or close to. Wait, what do you want? Do you give me anything? No? You don't give me anything? She doesn't want anything from me? Like, what do I do? Oh, the grave? Shit, I think I messed up X. Owl speech 13. When fish sleeps long, okay. Okay. Let's see. So, how did I totally missed what the ghost said to me a second ago. I think I have to take it to I think I have to take it to the graveyard, and I think it goes to this one. I think it's here. I think. All right, where's the closest teleport? There's one there. But if I go there, I might as well just go where I'm going. All right. So we go up through the beach. Up through the beach. All right, so somebody needs the fishing hook in the trade sequence. But I think I've met anybody who is trying to fish. Sapphire Onyx, hello, hi, welcome in. How are you? My grave, yes, we're going there. It's a little ways away. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's like the purple grave. There's two songs. Down by the banks of the Hanky Panky. Okay. Down by the banks where the bullfrogs croak. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking. Is that the one I'm thinking of? But yeah, you would like clap like in between the lyrics. Like it wasn't one of the ones you clap. I don't remember. I know which one's your grave. I'm trying to get over there. I know the lyrics as well, but it's been on my son's stuff. I see. Yeah, it'll come to me eventually, I'm sure. But that's what I thought. That's what I thought Eric was referencing. Trying to find a missing apple cord. Ooh. That sucks. It's like, and you always end up finding them afterwards. You're like, alright, fine. Like, I guess I'll just go buy another cord. Like, there's no harm in having an extra cord, right? And then you find it afterwards. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Never mind. Alright, cool, never mind. Wait, where's this grave? It's right... Oh, shit. I went the wrong way. It's over here. Let's see, it's right here. F. Rigged. Pinecone? Okay. After we do the ghost thingies. A jar for you. Put something aside. Bye-bye. He's giving me a jar? I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it? A fairy. Loki wouldn't care if you reset my prog on. I almost did because like the people who were here testing it like got a bunch. So I almost did, but I was like, nah, it's fine. You must dive into the waters of Martha's Bay to enter the catfish's maw. The closer you get to the windfish, the more restless he sleeps. Okay. I lost on so many, that's true. So there's gonna be a bunch of places I can go back to now that I can swim. Fuck. I didn't mean to go back up the stairs. So like there's a shit ton of caves I have to go back to now that I can swim. So like that's gonna be a whole thing. Yes. Yep. It's usually the same. I don't know if they don't name him Gaypora in this one, but yeah, it's the same concept as the owls in Ocarina and Majora's Mask. It's Baby Beluga. Baby Beluga. This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on. I would do a tier list. I feel like it would be unfair because I played through a good majority of them as a child, and I would feel like a lot of it would be based on nostalgia, not based on actual gameplay and storyline and stuff. But I would like to, like, I want to replay some games. Like, Oracle of Ages and Seasons are both on the GBA emulator on Nintendo Online. And I started Majora's Mask, and I think I stopped playing it because I think a game that I was waiting for came out. But I have a playthrough of Majora's Mask that is also started on stream that I never ended up finishing for whatever reason it was. But I feel like I would need to replay them as an adult to give it like a more fair judgment, you know what I mean? Okay, so I need to go to the bay, which is down here. So that's where I need to go. So, okay. Would you rather play DS on an emulator illegally or play on a rigged DS but legit game for a DS Zelda game? I would probably prefer... maybe emulator, only because it's kind of a little bit more customizable and I could, like, potentially use, like, an Xbox controller or something. I don't know. I don't really have an answer, honestly. The majority of them are available on Nintendo nowadays anyway, you know? And I wouldn't want to potentially risk my channel if Nintendo decided to start cracking down on small streamers, because technically they don't like their games being played on emulators, and like they don't like their games being advertised as being played on emulators. Link to the Past? No, Link to the Past, I just looked it up. Link to the Past is on the Nintendo Online. How do I get here? So she needs her necklace. Ooh, I think right here. These bubbles connect. Is that something they do? Yes, they do. Bubbles connect to each other. Wow, really? Wow, really? Straight up level 5? Oh, it is. All right, we're not doing 2 temples. We're not doing 2 temples. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. That was a good little surprise little making bad life choices stream, but I am not going to do a second dungeon tonight. So, let's see if any of my friends are on. Probably not, but let's see if any of my friends are on. I can't believe I might actually beat this game. Ew, don't listen to myself. Don't listen to myself. Gross. All right. Let's see who's on right now. You too, Tatiana. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for coming and keeping me company while I make bad life choices and decided to stream at midnight. So let's see. A lot of my friends are playing Baldur's Gate. Like, a lot of my friends are playing Baldur's Gate. All right. Would you guys rather see Project Zomboid, or would you rather see some Ark Survival Evolved? Those are your 2 choices. Let me know which one you would like to see. Let me know which one you'd like to see. Everyone's playing Baldur's Gate. You want to see Ark? Alright. We are gonna go hang out with my friend Fuego Tori. He is playing some Ark Survival Evolved. So hopefully he's not ending soon. Hopefully he's not ending soon. But yeah, go give him some love. Go hang out with him. All that jazz. I will be live later today. I'll be live tonight. I'll be live Sunday night tonight. I'll be live in... I don't know. I'll be live at 8:30 tonight. And we're going to play this again. We're going to play more of this. But go hang out. Go hang out with Fuego. Give him lots of love. Give him lots of hype. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate you hanging out with me for my little surprise stream. Live when? In a few hours, okay? Like, in a few hours. In a couple hours. I'll be live later tonight. It is 2:30 in the morning. I'll be live at 8:30 at night. 8:30 in a few hours! Go hang out with Fuego! Everybody get some rest, get some sleep. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Catch this Pokemon on your way out. And I will be live in a few hours. All right, guys, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later. Bye!